Getting your feet wet?
And we'll give you the endless saga of culture shock.
This is Panther Bytes.
I'm Kyle Kolachka.
And I'm Elise Micalanis.
Twitter's tweeting is changing the face of Facebook. How does that change your page? Danielle Malinsky reports.
Facebook members, prepare. The site is changing its format yet again. Upon logging onto the site that promises to, quote, help you connect and share with the people in your life, members can see an announcement about homepage changes to come. This is not the first time that the site has revamped its layout. More often than not, Facebook's dedicated followers have disliked the changes. Purchase students in particular, like Devin Rubin, are dreading another round of changes.
Well, I'm not sure what it's going to be like, but I know that last time they made changes, I was totally against it. I didn't understand why they were making the changes. Everybody loved Facebook the way it was, and then all of a sudden, all these new changes, and you have to adjust. And that was not too long ago. I'm happy with Facebook the way it is.
However, other students, like Brian Crimmins, are interested in seeing what creator Mark Zuckerberg has in store.
I am pumped because I think that, it just doesn't change. The news feed doesn't change fast enough for me. I really need to know what's going on, like, up to the second, you know what I mean? Like, with my friends on Facebook, because, honestly, Facebook is pretty much how I run my life. What I'd like to see changed is videos in people's profiles, but not like videos, like streaming videos, so that you can see what someone's doing up to the second on Facebook. That's internet life. This is purchase.
Still, others will surely protest the changes. Groups like Bring Back the Old Facebook were created when the last overhaul took place. The question now is, will this be Facebook's final facelift? We'll all have to wait and see. I'm Danielle Malinsky for Purchase College.
Face it, you have days where everything seems to be going down the drain, except Purchase's puddles. Elizabeth Hyman reports.
They call it Lake Purchase. It creeps across low parts of pavement and the grassy areas of campus as the rain falls. And then it sits there. And sits there. The worst puddles can sometimes be found right next to a drain. Students find the route to some of their most frequented places. The shuttle stop, the dining hall, blocked by huge muddy puddles of water. Some brave the lake by walking right on through. Others skirt around, desperately trying to avoid unnecessary damage to their shoes. Sometimes this faulty drainage can lead to injuries, especially when Lake Purchase ices over. Dan, a legally blind student, learned this firsthand.
I slipped and I literally rolled down half that hill and almost half those flight stairs. Jeez. It was crazy. I believe that, the school budget, us being in New York State SUNY system, that we have one of the highest school budgets in the United States, since we're in the state of New York. Can't we afford salt? Here also, this is Lake Purchase right there. Okay, 1 inch of rain equals 1 foot of death in that. Totally. 2 of my friends messed up their shoes there. It's crazy. It's ridiculous how things like this are going on, and that's what happened. And I believe that what we should do is just take more consideration, especially in this area. They do a very good job by Big House and Crossroads. Mm-hmm. Here it's garbage.
In a perfect world, the administration might take notice of the flood conditions and go about implementing a drainage system that actually works. Until then, keep a pair of boots handy. This is Elizabeth Hyman for Purchase College.
What's up with culture shock? We'll tell you when we come back.
Thursday night, everything's fine, except you've got that look in your eye when I'm telling a story and you find it boring. You're thinking of something to say, you'll go along with it, then drop it.
Tripping over the bricks getting you down? What else is gnawing at you? Here's this week's edition of That Bites.
I hate that I feel trapped and in a bubble of people who are creatively insane.
It seems like Purchase is great at touting these really good ideas that they have and just completely unable to implement them.
They charge us a lot for food and they don't give us a lot of food in return, and I pay more for sushi here than I would at a restaurant.
And I hate when the guy who makes the sandwiches sometimes hits on me.
I don't like class, books, or keys. That's it.
I mean, I'm vegetarian, so I'm very limited to my options.
It's way too small for its own good here.
The stage is set for culture shock. 2 stages, in fact, but the lineup isn't set. Julia Calderola reports.
What's Purchase College without culture shock? The annual 2-day concert extravaganza in April is talked about from the first day of school until the last. But this year, the whole event was held up by major drama surrounding the major events coordinator, Jeff Levin. After much pressure, he did release a tentative lineup on Facebook.
I've actually never heard of anyone, but you know, I'm still excited because it's gonna be fun. I like to dance.
Yeah.
I like local bands. I like any kind of bands, you know, like dancing, you know, it's always good, so.
On a campus as diverse as Purchase, getting everyone to agree on which bands are best is not gonna happen.
I'm pretty pissed off there's no rap music because I don't listen to any of these I don't even think any of these bands are mainstream. It really pisses me off a lot.
What do seasoned upperclassmen think?
I feel that this culture shock, there was a better balance instead of last year's culture shock, which was not even more of a culture shock, it was more like someone's personal iTunes lineup.
Levin declined to comment.
It's more about the event, the whole like culture of culture shock, like, you know, hanging out and just having fun, celebrating springtime.
Okay. No matter which bands end up playing, students will definitely attend.
You know, definitely the fried Oreos and Zeppelis are a lot of the reason why I go too, because it's so good. But
for Purchase College, I'm Julia Calderola.
Next week's Panther Bytes. We're all here to learn from professors, but there's one student we can all learn from.
How a group of students is pushing this year's green theme in the Bronx.
Tired of hitting the books or the bricks? Try climbing the wall. I'm Kyle Kolachka.
And I'm Elise Mikalanis. See you next week.